Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we're back for another Vintage League. And yeah, we're playing my Eternal Weekend Cradlevine list. And yeah, I thought I was sick to death of this deck as leading up to Champs. I tested a whole ton with it, and as most players, you get bored of playing the same deck over and over and over. But in the true name of testing, I stuck it out and regardless, it's been a month since I've really played it and thought I would reload it up today and see how we do with it in the current metagame. I haven't really made any changes at all to the list from Champs. So, yeah, for those of you who are unaware and haven't watched these videos, I mean, the main crux of this deck is like any Bazaar deck is trying to well, not any Bazaar deck, but any Vine deck. You're trying to animate your Vengevines with your 8 Root Wallas. Apologize there, guys. I had to sneeze. Trying to animate your Vengevines with your 8 Root Wallas and your Hollow ones. This deck is a little bit different than other Vengevine decks in the sense that it doesn't have any Hogaks, any Bloodghasts. Um, it's a little bit more robust on its mana base because we're looking to cast our spells from this deck after the turn 1 Bazaar. And our cards are really good in 4 Collector Roosts and 4 Hex Drinkers. And Hex Drinker can get ultimate into Progenitus style very quickly with all the Cradles that we have. 7 main deck here. We got a resilient hate package and 3 Besage's main, 1 on the board to be deal with Sinks Steel and Bolus' Citadel, Breach, whatever it may be that we need to remove, Oath of Druids, etc. And we've got the Force of Figures as our disruption with them, and 1 single dimensional misstep. In the main, we get a little bit better against combo post board. But that said, guys, I don't want to deliberate too much on the list itself. If you've seen my other videos, I go into much greater detail as to what I'm trying to do with this deck. But hope you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to see you for round 1. Okay, guys, here we are in round 1, and we are playing Cradlevine, and I believe Vertex is a Doomsday player. His hand's a little bit awkward, but we're going to keep it. This style of Bazaar deck often does lead to more awkward hands with the Bazaar because there's a lot less discard equity in that you're not wanting to discard, your Hex Drinkers and your Collector Roofs, whereas, those cards are subbed out for things like Hogak and Bloodghast in your traditional list. So we did win the die roll, which is great. I am going to Once Upon a Time here first. See if this baits my opponent into a Force of Will. I think Hollow One is just the best card here, and we're guaranteed to get it into play here versus the Vine is not guaranteed. That was a fantastic pickup with the Chalice of the Void there. I think we can come off the Force of Vigor here. Opponent's probably not too worried about a Hollow One, but I guess it depends how their hand is structured. So they are deliberating about this. I hope they force it because I want the Chalice to resolve. The Chalice will not resolve through a force. Almost assuredly. That or my opponent's away from keyboard, but most people, when they deliberate this long, are thinking about whether we want to force it or not. Okay. Okay, we got rid of a daze in that exchange. That's pretty good for us. All right. We have to feel pretty good about that. We can presume this is Doomsday. Doomsday is a pretty tough match for this, especially against one top, one bottom. A highly competent opponent. Okay, that's what we're looking for is Collector Roof. Unfortunately, we will not be able to deploy that this turn. So I think we get rid of this. I don't think Besage was likely to be highly impactful here. Just is what it is. See if we can get through a daze here. We did. And Collector Roof should be very strong against my opponent here. Despite I've got the Chalice in play, it is possible that gets removed. Let's see. That's likely to fetch them an Ancestral Recall is my guess. I am going to cast this into a daze. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to wasteland them first. Then I'll play this into a daze, and if they have a daze here, I can live with it. I didn't want them to be able to protect their underground sea. I think that was correct sequencing there. I mean, if I really wanted to play around daze, I wouldn't have done it, killed anything, but I wanted to take the underground sea away from them. Okay, nice, good win for us there. We get a lot better post board here. Endurance can disrupt their piles. We have 4 surgicals to disrupt them, and of course my Break Trap is a really good one as well. Force of Vigor does not do anything in this matchup. They do have Tabernacles. I don't feel like we need Besiegew. All those Besiegews, they're not doing a ton, and I don't think Hex Drinker is necessarily where we want to be. I'm open to keeping maybe one in there. Just for more consistency. Let's try this. That's an easy powder. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. It's a non-bizarre hand. Once again, thrilled to see my opponent play a ley line against us. This is a very disruptive hand. I suspect they're going to daze my Once Upon a Time, but I think that's okay. I mean, I guess we can play around that by wastelanding. One top, one bottom. I'm going to wasteland. I'm going to see if I can bait a force out of them with the Once Upon a Time. Nope, no interest. Okay, really actually quite an awkward play here for us. I guess I'm going to have to take the Basking Root Wall, despite I would love to take that Collector Roof. Maybe I just need to take the Cradle here. Or can I gamble on the Youth? The Youth is the card I really want. I can take the Collector Roof here. A little bit awkward. Oh. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go after my opponent's C's here. And we wanted to do this in their upkeep. They've conceded. So they are not a Watery Grave deck. They are all on Underground Seas there. And because we have the Chalice in play, they cannot resolve a Black Lotus or a Jet to be able to get black mana. So I literally had them shut out of the game there. And that is a very reasonable line against Doomsday. For those of you who are unaware, one of the reasons that people play Watery Grave in current builds, though there will be one singleton Watery Grave, is to negate this line. One, they want extra black mana in the deck. Number two, should they get surgicaled on their underground seas, like very common line is wasteland them, and then you surgical them. And then they are only down to those two other sources to produce black mana in their deck, the Black Lotus and the Mox Jet. And of course, we had that line shut off, and it doesn't look like they had any ability to remove my Chalice of the Void there either. So, because they didn't have the Watery Grave, they were deterministically shut out of the game there. But, anyways, that's it. I'm rambling on, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next round. Hey, everybody. Andy here, aka Montolio. We're back for round 2 of our Vintage League. We're running to a Lurrus deck here. I typically associate Grim as being a white weenie player. Unfortunately for us, we did not win the die roll here. But we have a nice hand. Our wastelands are likely to be more or less ineffectual against mono white. Well, let's see. And it is indeed mono white. Well, this was a nice draw, having this missed up here for this. Let's see if we can get our Bazaar to give us a bit more pressure here. That would be really nice. We didn't really get what I was looking for here, but hopefully my opponent gets a Wasteland here and Wastelands us. That would be really great. I would be pretty sad to see the Leon Arbiter come down, and or whatever the one is that removes artifacts. A Kataki, that's pretty sweet. Okay. Okay, well, we do have something for that. So the Mox is actually good. I don't think Kataki is what I'm looking to be doing right now, to be honest. Yeah, I think I just value the Bazaar here right this second. Push our damage while we're able to here. And this way we can pay for Kataki as we currently stand. Yeah. But yeah, the Wasteland on my Wasteland is very likely to be the play here. Oh, that was fantastic. They went after my Bazaar. Okay. Okay. So we're hanging around here. See if they want to make a trade here. They don't. They're just going to play the Yavimaya Coast here. A little bit awkward, but excuse me. Look, it's a Ghost Quarter coming down here now. Okay, Caracas, yep. I'll take the 2. Just hopefully they're pulling Lurrus back here. Nope, another Arbiter. Okay. So I expect what's going to happen here is they're likely going to trade. Vigor. Vigor does not help. I probably have to wasteland this Caracas. The problem if I don't is that they can. Oh, they still have Lurrus in a companion zone. So yeah, I'm gonna pump. Oh, they've got a path. That's nice. Okay. Hopefully they don't have a wasteland here. I feel like I just need to push my damage right at the moment. Next turn I will Bazaar, given an opportunity. Okay, apparently not, but Vigor can get rid of that. So they can just double block and I can trade 1 for 1. If I pitch. Well, I do think I need to wasteland them. Don't think I attack here. I'll see if they play into my Force of Vigor any further before I employ this. Then I will. That's a bit of a bummer, but anyways. Okay, Vine's a good one. We're going to do it again. What would be one of our best ones here? I think a Hex Drinker would be a really nice pickup. I'm not going to do this now because I'd like to get the Vine going if I get an opportunity to do it. So we just need to keep our Bazaar around here, I think would be helpful. Lurrus back to hand now, yep. This guy, Giver of Runes, is going to be a problem for me here. Okay, they're coming in for 2, and that's a good attack. I do think we Bazaar here now. Okay, we did brick. But we have double Vine coming back the other way if and when I can do it. So I mean, it's tenuous. Like once Lurrus comes down and they're able to get the Giver back, which will be next turn with all likelihood, it's pretty scary. See if okay, so we can just do it this turn. So I still think I Bazaar, right? Because I can discard. Yeah. If I hit another Vine, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm really sad to have gotten rid of both those Cradles. But this is going to help my cause here. They're at 9. Now they are going to start being able to bring these things back next turn. So we're going to get in and push what damage we can here. I suspect they'll bring the Giver back. That's my guess. But let's see. Yeah, the Giver of Runes is a good one. Because what that's going to do is protect Kataki. But we're going to get in with everything we've got here. best we can. I think I'm likely to tap the Hex Drinker here. Is that better than pumping my vines? Like, maybe not. Problem is, this Thalia does cause problems. Really would love one of those Gaia's Cradles we discarded. I'm not sure what's correct here. This is not optimal. Can I go with everything here? The problem is they just blocked that. They will have to block one of my attackers here. That I know. This is very valuable. If I can get this thing out of instant range, I think it's the correct thing to do. I think what I do here is I attack with a Vengevine and a Root Walla. Let's do this. And if they block with the Root Walla, I will pump it. That's the sacrifice I'm making here, trying to get an extra piece off their board. I could have gone with an extra one here, but they almost assured they would have blocked both of them. Which maybe was a fine sacrifice. They went after my vine. I don't think that's correct. Maybe they're just not worried about my Hex Drinker. Maybe they have multiple sets of removal in hand. I don't know. Let's see. They are going to be gaining life here. I cannot block Dolores. Well, I can, but ooh, that's nasty. Yep. Guess they just go after my Yavimaya here. Takes me further away from the cradle, but this is actually quite problematic as well. Yep, that's exactly what they've done. Now let's see if they have another removal. That was my best draw, probably, outside of a Gaia's Cradle, I guess. They did. Okay. I don't think I can win from here, so I think we can scoop this one up. Just too inevitability inevitability there. Bring this in because, boy, did they ruin us with Path to Exiles there. Definitely want our Dismembers. I could see some Endurance coming in to trap them. I don't foresee Collector Roof being a hugely impactful card in this matchup, nor do I see Force of Vigor being that good. Maybe something like this. Yeah. Like, I acknowledge Spirit of the Labyrinth as a thing. Yeah, just an excellent hand. Definitely like the Vine here, because I can hard cast the Hex Drinker if I can't bring it back naturally. Well, believe it or not, Chalice is really, really nice for me here. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. I think we have to get rid of it once upon a time. The reason I discarded the Forest is that the Yavimaya will turn this into 2 mana, where this is only 1, and that will help me pump my Hex Drinker, should it resolve. Now, there is a world where setting the Chalice on 1, oh, they're going to extract my Vine. That's pretty reasonable. Beating this white deck is really hard to do. I'm just going to set it on 1, though. Or 0, excuse me. I just think it's the correct thing to do. Hopefully they don't have a 1-drop, or a path for that matter. Like, we're asking a lot here. Yeah. See, this is what much of what I talk about, in that we've already used our Bazaar. And, oh, they put on a Hex Drinker. Smart. That's funny. All right, well, let's get busy living here. We've got the Dismember. I'm definitely going to use that here. Opponent is on a 2-turn clock, so we'll see what they put up here, whether it's a Kataki or not. That's what I feel like it is. Yeah, Leon and Umbrella. Okay. Oof. Okay, we can cast that next turn. Maybe sneak attack my opponent. We'll see. Wasteland, yep, that's a good one. Okay. They took the wrong one. Yeah, Thalia does stand me up here. So it looks like my opponent's pretty close to stabilizing. We need that land pretty bad. Caracas, yeah. So the question is does my opponent have a path to exile here in these 2 cards? Because I can remove this. I think I just attack with the hollow one here. See if I can get a double block out of them. And they're just going to return it to their hand. Yeah, that was pretty nifty. Also, I guess I could have removed the needle there, but I don't really like that line that much. Let's see if they can deploy 2 creatures here or not. Thalia is hard for me to get through, but if it's just 1 creature that they do... Okay, so they did have another land here, unfortunately, so this could equivalate 2 creatures from them, which is trouble. There's Thalia. Okay, so this actually ends up working out okay. Not amazing, but okay. Because now they are tapped underneath their Thalia, which they actually were. I talked about Swords to Plowshares last turn. They actually were last turn as well. They couldn't have plowed. So that's something to think about. But okay. I guess I can force a chump block here. Do I go with both? They just kill my Hex Drinker. And then they chump this. They only have 1 card in hand. No, I think I just attack with Endurance here. This kills both their creatures if they choose to block. So I am getting some value there. And then I will cast okay, they are doing it. Yep. Okay, it's nice I don't have to use my Boseiju there. And now I can sneak my Endurance in. Presume they have a second. Okay, Aspirant, that's a good one. Okay, so I am feeling like my opponent has a Swords here. But I still think we have to try and go for the win. And if not, we're going to move to the Hex Drinker line. Okay, we got those out of there. They did not have it. We were going to be able to get lethal through. All right. I mean, so one of my ways of winning is with the Hex Drinker through what they're trying to do. It's a level of range that this deck has that other decks do not. Other bizarre decks that get gummed up by the white deck. This is once it gets into Progenitus, it's well, once it gets into no instants or sorceries, protection from instants, we should be home free. Could take Chalice out for the extra Boseiju to get rid of Needles or Spirit of the Labyrinths. Yep, I think this is good. Because I'm not playing Force of Vigor, I am a little bit colder to a turn 1 Spirit of the Labyrinth, but what are you going to do? So this hand has turn 1 Hex Drinker or Collector Roof, which I don't think I'm crazy about, but it might be all right. And if we find a Bazaar, like, I think this is worth gambling on. I know the Once Upon a Time is going to resolve. Okay, so we did not find a Bazaar, but I found a Boseiju, I guess, which is decent. I already stripped, right? Not ideal. No path there, so that's good news for me. Let's see what happens here. Close quarter, okay. Sprints is pretty good for them here. Okay, not bad. I think I just want to get this thing big as fast as I can. I'm going to bait with the Gaia's Cradle here to see if they will Ghost Quarter it. I guess if they play an Arbiter here, that works for them, but we are Progenitus next turn, which hopefully will allow us to race. A Bazaar completely changes the trajectory of the game because we can get rid of these 3 dead cards in my hand. In hindsight, I think that was maybe a greedy keep for us, but okay, well, I guess not. Let's see. Smart. I'm going after my mocks here. That's what they're going for. Yep. Does work. I don't think they will attack here, but they might. Okay, they want to race me. I don't think that's correct. I just want to put all my energy into this thing here now, because if I get wastelanded again, I'm still away from it if I cast a Hex Drinker, and I can do it next turn. I'm on a 2-turn clock here. They are pressuring me here now. That was a nice draw. Okay, well, let's first of all get this thing up. Yeah, we had it. What we were going to do is we were going to ultimate this thing here. They were dead next turn, and we were going to get rid of their aspirant. So we were going to take 4 damages, putting to 7, but they were only going to be able to put us to 5. So nice win for us. Really showcasing Hex Drinker's power there and identifying that these mid-range matches uh, have difficulty dealing with a Hex Drinker once it gets three counters on it. It's inevitable that it will get up into the Progenitus at 8 counters, and it could just be really hard to deal with these gummed up board states. So, anyways, a nice win for us there. What is, I find, a traditionally difficult matchup for a deck that has not been in the metagame for quite some time. Grim has been the champion of mono white for a while. This is preceding Initiative, which I think are 2 completely different decks, despite they're both mono white. See you guys next round. Hey, everybody. Andy Enrique Montolio, round 3. We are playing Cradlevine. We're on the play. OKMV, I believe, is typically a 4-color Planeswalker player. This hand just, I love the Chalice here. It's just a really awkward sequence of spells, right? Doesn't work. No. Mulligan that one. Travel Bazaar. Yowzers. Okay. Awkward, but we're going to keep it. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, reasonably happy with that. I think we can discard the Force of Vigor there. Given the type of deck my opponent plays, the likelihood they have 2 Moxen is pretty low, despite it could happen. But we have the Collector Roof to clean it up, and I suspect that they're going to Wasteland me here. That is my guess. Which would be a nice tempo play given the way our hand is set up. Nope. Okay. See if we can find a Cradle. We did not. A little bit awkward. I'm not really wanting to discard these cards, but we do have the Vine there. I'm going to play this out this turn, and next turn, depending on how things shake down, I may double Bazaar, trying to get that Vengevine going. Ancestral is just obviously the line here. A Brainstorm. Okay. I'm just definitely going to Wasteland here. We're just looking to buy time to get our hand going. I feel a little bit bad if it's a Gaia's or an Urza Saga that comes down. But I don't anticipate that to be the case unless my opponent has switched decks. Yep. So foresaw that one coming. Huh. So what do we want to do here? Go up to 5, and that leaves me with 2. I'm going to play the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth here. I'm going to just go forward here and see what we can do next turn. I get punished if my opponent Wastelands me here. I acknowledge that. Deathrite is likely the play. It's pretty awkward. Okay, that did not work out like I had hoped it would. All right. Well, I probably should have attacked before doing that, but the reason I didn't do that is because there was a Vine in the yard. On the chance that I got it to work, I was in pretty good shape. So what I can do next turn is I can cast the Collector Roof and Bazaar, hoping to hit a Vine or to hit a Root Walla. Time Walk, yep. So this one's slipping away from us, unfortunately. This is a pretty tough matchup for my deck. If I hit the explosive side of my deck, I'm in pretty decent shape. But if I'm not hitting the explosive side, it can be hard. Like this, if this is a Minskin-Boo right now, I'm in a lot of trouble. Well, this feels like a Hull Breacher, but I don't think I have the luxury of playing around it. We lose if they have it. Okay. So it didn't quite pan out. I kind of feel like I have to go for it. They're going to eat my vine here, which is rough. Days is brutal. Jesus. Let's go again. See if we can hit. We did not. So this one has slipped away from us, unfortunately. They're just gonna be eating both my Vengemines here and deploy their spells. So we're gonna have a bit of a hard time here, unfortunately. But let's see. We're not completely dead, but it feels bad. Like once they drop one of their bombs, I'm in a lot of trouble. But the death rate here is obviously causing problems. You know, and also I'm not sure 100% I've played this one to the best line here. I mean, there was a distinct plan. Whether it was the correct one or not is a whole different story. But very similar to the mono white matchup that we just played. This is a grindy matchup, and of course, my opponent has significant card advantage and much bigger bombs than we do if they are able to establish themselves. And like Minsimbu was, there's a point I was actually siding in Caracas when this was an extremely popular deck. Okay, so let's get going. Not ideal. I'm going to attack. I can't pump if they block. I'll have to not play the hollow one, but I don't think they'll block here. So I do have one Vengevine in my yard here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for my opponent to Deathrite. And once they do, I will spin my Bazaar and see if I can hit a Vengevine or a Rootwalla to bring it back. So the sequencing favors us here if we can hit one. And we did. That not only negates my opponent's life gain, we get a Vengevine back, which is significant in this situation. Yep. I suspect that they'll come after one of my Rootwallas here, one of my basking Rootwallas. No, they want the Wasteland. So what they're doing is going after my Yavimaya Cradle of Growth here, which makes sense. Very nice. Um, my opponent is at 12 life here. I mean, I have to go after Ren here, unfortunately. I'm not going to suicide my team here. Not yet. We're too far away. I have to try and kill this Ren. They've, oh, they do have something. Okay. Yep. Now they can just eat the Wren or the Vengevine. Yep. We're in a lot of trouble now. I don't think we're going to be able to get through here. I mean, my opponent's almost expended all their resources, but them just going and getting wastelands here and taking away my bazaars is, in this type of a situation, is pretty bad for me. I really need to find a Gaia's Cradle. Oh, they're going after my green source. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess what my opponent is thinking is that I'm never going to get a Vengevine in play. So that said, maybe I just start building up. Yeah, it's not worth it. The thing is here, I can't bazaar. Really what I'm looking for here is a Gaia's Cradle. But my opponent is now going to start proactively paying my guys. Wren does not really. I guess they could keep continuing going after my bazaars here, but my opponent's not threatened by the bazaars really at this stage because I'm never going to get a Vengevine there. Yep. They've got me in a soft lock here between the wastelands and the death rates, and it's pretty awkward. Black Lotus does pump these guys up pretty good here. Do I just go at them? I'm going to have no bazaar next turn. This thing's one away from ultimating. One more turn, guys. It's a good situation for me in the sense that my opponent is probably going to feel compelled to kill one of my blazing root wallas now instead of one of my basking because I've got the Black Lotus in play. Them knowing that I'm going to be able to deal 9 damage, whereas these are what I can pump up with mana in my deck. So a Gaia's Cradle is far more better served for these. To be clear, I mean, I think we're in a really bad spot here. This Deathray Shaman has absolutely wreaked havoc on me here. We're just completely and utterly reliant off the top of our deck to be able to pull this together. But a Gaia's Cradle, and I do have a bunch in my deck. We have 2 more. How lucky are we? Not very lucky. They have 6 cards in hand here, right? Probably just going to recast one here. They're at 20 life. I'm not sure if this is entertaining for you guys or not. Really just pushing the boundaries of my deck to see what it can do in these situations. My inclination is that I'm quite dead here and more than willing to concede at this stage in the game. My opponent has complete and utter control with 6 cards in hand. And board dominance. I can't even attack through their Deathrite Shaman with my Piddlywinks here. Against Cradle will help that, but only marginally. So that said, why don't we move on to the next game, make it a little bit more fun for you guys. Yeah, we were just miles away. Okay, there was a Cradle. No, is there a small chance that we could have pulled that out potentially? Yeah, there's a chance. I could see us wanting these as well. Don't think Besaju's at its best here. Maybe want the basic forest. Also don't feel like Collector and Force of Vigors are really where I want to be in this matchup. Maybe a couple oofs, and I'll bring one more Besaju back in. Try something like this out. Like, we didn't even see any of the bombs, embarrassingly enough, out of my opponent's deck that game. They still manhandled us really easily there. Renin 6 just got us. Really, it was the Deathrite that got us. Just gained infinite life and took away all my Vengevines. And despite this deck it boasts itself as not being reliant on the graveyard, when games go long, you do become more reliant as they establish their boards more on being able to bring back Vengevines from the yard. So again, I do like that powder, and we got a chance at getting a turn 1 Vengevine here. As we currently stand, this hand looks like it'll be a little bit soft to Tabernacle, but let's see what we can find off our Bazaar here. Very nice. So we have a good chance to rebuild even after this goes off, because we've got the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth here to be able to get the Hex Drinker going, and we are going to make my opponent play fair, because we're going to resolve a Chalice of the Void, hopefully. And let's see if they've got a tap. Nope. Deathrite Shaman, yep. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about this here. Get some pressure going here. I'm going to cast a Hex Drinker. And I'm going to pump it up once. This looks like it might fetch a Force of Will from my opponent. Okay, just a concession, even better. Oh, we had the Cradle next turn. Nice. Okay. I did think about tapping my Bazaar to find the Gaia's Cradle, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stand my ground here, get the Hex Drinker in for sure this turn, without having to discard all my equity, and we'll retry again next turn. Okay. Let's try this out. I really don't think Collector Roof is, to be honest, is really good in this match, but there are hands that they can have where they can have multiple Moxen. So this hand here, if I can find a green source, I have Dismember, and I can get into root wallets and start pumping them. I also have removal. Okay, I'll try it for science. This is one of my weaknesses with this deck still is as I explore the non-bizarre hands. Uh, it can cost me games at times because obviously when you have a bizarre hand, it is usually stronger than a non-bizarre hand. But the caveat is that this deck more than any other bizarre deck can win without bizarre, and I've done it a lot. But I'm still learning the boundaries. When I was at Eternal Weekend on camera, I I think I was on the backup match, and in game two, down a game, I kept a non-bizarre hand on the back of a turn one collector roof, thinking, okay, well, we can sculpt this hand, and uh, of course, it didn't work, and ended up falling out of top eight contention at that time. So I am likely going to dismember that. All right, let's cast this first before we do anything. Okay, I'm going to take the basic forest here to ensure some longevity there. I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I'm just going to wasteland for the turn here. I know they cannot interact with that. Obviously, a bummer here if they follow up with Ren, but I couldn't stop it anyways. I guess one of the reasons to go after the Deathrite is they can produce whatever color mana they want. Okay, so they do have a mana rock here. Okay. During their upkeep, I will attempt to dismember this. Let's see if that works. Brainstorm. Okay, they're digging. So go down to 4, and I would put them to 2 if they found the force. They might let this go. Days. What a beating. Okay. Days was a beating, but it did set them back anyways. So let's see. I don't know if they were just removing a land from my yard for the heck of it, but bizarre. That was nice. I mean, definitely doing that, right? Hopefully they don't have a hull breacher. Probably can dump a Seiju here, would be my guess. Yeah, probably want to keep the extra bizarre here. All right. That was a nice bizarre to find that. I mean, we've got a presence now on the table. Obviously, I wish this was a waste effect, but we might next turn really need to resolve that collector roof. That's the problem. Okay, they didn't do anything. Lotus, damn. Just a turn too late. Let's hope that they don't use it. This deck does have some air in it. Strip mine, okay. It's fine. So they do have hardcast force up, which is the unfortunate thing for me. Okay, this is somewhat helpful. Let's see if they hardcast force here. No. This is big game if this can resolve. I suspect they have a bolt, but yes, it's hardcast force. Okay. Pretty nice. They're just going to bolt me here. Nope. Just using it. It's reasonable. Okay. So here's the thing, right? I've got this Hex Drinker going. Do they have removal? That is the question I have. I think we're about to find out. Nope. Okay. Now if we can keep the Cradle around next turn. Okay, getting in there, guys. And I can emergency pitch this endurance if I have to. Okay. Oko can ruin my party as well, should they find an Oko. Oh no, Fury? Yep. It's pretty good. Yep. Okay. I mean, it cost them everything they have. So I feel like we're in a decent position here. Okay. Do I want to go? Yeah, probably. Actually, I don't know. Do I? Probably. I don't see a reason to wait, to be honest, for this. Just going to do it. They've got nothing going on here. They cannot gain any life. So I'm just going to put their yard back in. And yeah, I realize I'm putting some decent cards back in there, but taking their ability away to dig through time and all that stuff is fine. Yeah, they can drain me. If we can fade a couple draw steps from them, we're probably in good shape. Yep. Yep. We were coming through for quite a bit of damage. 3, 6, 9 there. I was going to wasteland them, draw a card. Black Lotus was not great, but okay. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next round. All right, guys, here we are in round 4 of our Vintage League. We're playing Cradlevine. Fairrix, I believe, is a green-white hate bears deck. So similar to what we ran into in round 2, these are really difficult matches. So I'd anticipate a tough one here. Yeah. Yorion. I did not expect that. So what happens here if I keep this non-bizarre hand? I'm on the play. I have a turn 1 Hex Drinker. If I find a bizarre, this hand becomes better. I have a misstep. I'm going to try it, guys. We'll try it for science. Like, these are the type of hands where I like to push the boundaries a little bit and see. Yes, I'm looking for a bizarre with Once Upon a Time. To be clear, you never keep a hand hoping to hit a bizarre because the likelihood percentage-wise is not good. Okay, but if you do hit it, you feel like a champ. But it rarely works for you. My backup plan here is that I've got a Hex Drinker and I'm going to hope to draw into some more lands. And, hopefully my Once Upon a Time finds a land in the least, right? Non-Yavimaya Cradle growth of land. We're looking for a bizarre. Is our predominant. Now, this may get countered, and then we're really going to feel silly, but them's the breaks. So this is pretty brutal, but we did hit the Passaggio at least, so that's something. So we're going to be a little bit reliant off the top of our library to fix this hand. Well, my misstep's not looking very good here, is it? Human. This was a key piece of me keeping this hand, believe it or not. Cavern of Souls is problematic. Like if they play a Noble Hierarch here, I'll feel a little bit bad about myself, but Lotus, that's far worse. Hopefully my opponent's just deliberating here and not double queued. What we could also do next turn is we can cast Once Upon a Time, looking for a bizarre that way. But let's see. If this is a mid-range match of some sort, I'll be more incentivized to get the Hex Drinker. And it is indeed what I feared. So they are playing green-white humans with Yorion. Maybe it just banned. How do I feel about that? I don't think that impacts. We can't cast more than one non-creature spell. That does not impact me at all. They can have that. Cathar Commando, yep. I'm just going to do it now while they're tapped out. I mean, obviously, Force of Will is a thing. Is that a bizarre? No, I got my hopes up there. It's a Gaia's Cradle, though, and we'll take a Gaia's Cradle. I did get my hopes up there just for a second. I don't think I want to trade my Hex Drinker. I feel like this is an integral part of us being able to win this. So my mental misstep is looking quite poor here. They're just going to pull Yorion. Be pretty happy with that. Attack for their Cathar. I'm not going to trade. Yeah, Thalia's Lieutenant. Nice. Fortunately, I feel like I can't block the Cathar because it deals me 5. It's going to have 3. Let us see. Well, I mean, let's get this thing up here. Let's start there. I could get a Vengevine in play and start smashing with the Vengevine. Wasteland is somewhat problematic for me here, but I think that probably the line I am most interested in here is like, yes, I'm taking a lot of damage. But I think I just have to get this guy up here. Now, what's coming through the door here? Another human's going to pump these guys up. I'm not currently the beatdown here, so I'm not going to attack in. Next turn, I likely will just cast a Vengevine. Yep. I always appreciate my opponent's decks. They like to play these human decks, and this is obviously a new level of spice. Seeing the Yorion here, this is going to be able to get through in the air. But I mean, we're losing, to be quite clear here. We are losing, but we have a chance. I suspect this will. Well, they're likely going to come in for 5 here. With this would be my guess. Or maybe they'll attack in the air with this too, because I'm not really keen. I can't trade with this right now. I could, but I don't think it's optimal to do so. And by doing so, losing one of my creatures means that I can't cast any of my Vengevines next turn. Yeah, it sucks. I just gotta take it. Exalted is a thing. Okay, they did not wasteland me. Okay, we found a wasteland. This I can trade with. Question is, do I wasteland my opponent? I don't think so. I think my interest lies in pumping up my Hex Drinker right now. And next turn I can go ultimate with it, which should take over the game. The issue I'm going to have is that my opponent can attack me with this freebooter. But I will trade with the Cathar Commando this time. Let's see what they do. Yep, that's exactly as I thought. Okay, they didn't play anything. That's good news for me. Oh, that's nice. What happens here? Yep, do another one. Think I can attack with 2 of these, right? Yeah, I can. I might even have been able to attack with the other vine there as well. But let's see. My opponent is they could have flashed in another Cathar Commando, which could have been troublesome for me. So I think that was a reason to hold the other vine back there. Let's see what we got here. Yep, I mean, that's pretty scary. They can put that on the freebooter. Now they're getting their lieutenant can trade. The aspirant was a good one. It's going to be close. So I could take 3 right now and then 4, putting me to 1. They can attack with the rest and kill me. Yeah. I actually should have wastelanded them. I didn't. I was kind of thinking of sitting back on the root wall here. But let's see. Let's see what they do. Yeah, that's the correct line, I think. Can't stop it. I don't have a way to stop flying. And then they just come through and they kill me next turn, right? I hope I can find something to cast here. Anything really is good. Ha! Guess I should be more specific, huh? 1, 2, 3, 2. Well, they have to block one of my vines. What if I come with everything? 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens if I come with everything? This will put them to 1. They keep that alive. So they would have to block both of my Vengevines. And how I see them doing that is blocking with Thalia's Lieutenant, or maybe Luminac Aspirant, and the Noble Hierarch. And then that leaves them with enough to kill me. All right, I think we're in trouble here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with the Hex Drinker and the 2 Vengevines. My opponent cannot block the Hex Drinker, and what I think they will do is they will very likely block with the Aspirant, and they will block with this, keeping their 2 biggest power guys. They'll have 3 attackers. I cannot deal with the Flyer at all. Yeah, I guess that doesn't work, because then I can only block this, and then they get through for 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we can only go with one of the vines. But it will force them to block. I still die that way though, right? Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. There's nothing I can do here. My opponent has to make a mistake. Feel free to leave in the comments. In hindsight, last turn I should have wastelanded them, but I wanted to protect myself with the root wall. That was my logic. But had I done that, they would have had to have tapped their Noble Hierarch to cast the Luminarch. Oh, interesting. Three, four. But yeah, I just died to an all-out attack, right? All right. Yeah, I didn't survive, but it was a really good game, and I felt like it was close. But if they attack with everything, they don't get the exalted. 2 through 4. Now, if they get to pump their guy up, their guys, I'm in trouble. All right. Do I survive this? No, I don't. The Luminarch Aspirant was the piece I wasn't counting here. They know I have a missed up in hand, or they should. So endurance is not in my hand. They did not attack with everything and kill me. Put me to 1. Okay. Uh, my opponent, I think, had me dead there, unless I'm miscalculating. 1 life. They could have come with everything. Anyways, we will take that. Despite, I think we stole one there, guys. It's just kind of an outline of our deck's ability to function without a bazaar. We did not have a bazaar that game, and it ended up working out really nicely for us. I don't Force of Vigor. How good is Force of Vigor? Probably not very good. Let's see, June. This is a good setup, guys. Yeah, that was a good game. I mean, Hexdrinker was very powerful there. Outright won us that game. Another good showcase in these mid-range matchups of the inevitability of Hexdrinker. Yeah, definitely one worth going back and looking at. I think I could have made some difficult decisions, or some maybe more optimal decisions. The one I'm kind of kicking myself right now about is the Wasteland. Despite hindsight, makes it seem like the logical choice to Wasteland them during that turn, but it was not the logical choice without the information of knowing um, that they were going to flash something in, and that we were going to want to have the root wall to be able to pump and kill one of their creatures. Like, there was a good rationale there, but hindsight made it far more visible that it was the correct line to Wasteland. And should I have been attacking with the Vengevine a little bit earlier to apply a little bit more pressure, like when I first cast it? I think it's possible. Because of course that did turn into a damage race, and once the aspirant came into play, it made it very clear that I was in trouble. Okay, this is an easy powder. Not one we can keep. Okay, this one looks good. Put that away. We've got our big game winner here in Hexdrinker. Leyline to Leyline. Okay, so that's a double mulligan for my opponent. So we are very grateful for that. Okay. Thalia, okay. So awkward, right? Because I want to use the Once Upon a Time, but I can't use it because of Thalia. That's very rare that something like that comes up, but we can't actually cast it. So it's basically just turned into discard equity for me. I mean, yes, I can play a land and cast it, but I don't really like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast my Hex Drinker here. Yep. To be honest, this is a hand where I very much do not want to discard any of my cards. And this is what happens sometimes with this Bazaar and this type of deck. Like, is there a chance that I do it next turn if I draw something that makes me want to do it a little bit more? Yes. We have the Once Upon a Time and we have the Basking Root Walla that we want to discard. So that's two-thirds of the discards to the Bazaar. So maybe we'll do it next turn, but let's see what we find. Because I am somewhat incentivized to get this out of removal range. Yep, that's a bit scary. Are they short on land? Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess I'm going to do it here. All that big talk. Oh, guys. Oh, my lord, that's nice. I mean, I guess Force of Vigor is a thing here, but yeah, I'll get rid of the Endurance here. This is a 2-1, that's a 1-1. I feel like we're quite a bit ahead here. There's no reason to attack. Do a slow roll, see if I can incentivize my opponent to Force of Vigor here now. With the Mox and the Hollow One. It's a very subtle play, but it's a tempting thing, right? Like, they don't realize necessarily that I have the second Hollow One here. I go to pass turn, they just get all excited. They Force a Vigor the Hollow One and the Mox as I go to pass turn. It has happened to me before. It's a subtle nuance, but of course the correct thing is to wait to the end of the turn to see what happens because there's no other incentive to do it mid combat. Oh wow, they pass turn again. This is magnificent. Okay. Now, we need to be cognizant that they can flash in that that guy. I don't think it's worth it for me to do it to attack in with the Hex Drinker. It's very skittish of me for sure. But this card is, because I am currently the beatdown, is going to give me some significant inevitability. I think I am not going to do that. despite I'm giving up 4 damage and not doing it. And if my opponent wants to block my Blazing Root Walla here, my Basking Root Walla, I will pump it. Unless they attack a flash in the 3/1 and block with that. I could see that being their line here. So they are doing that. Okay. Just take the opportunity to it's a good tempo play for us. Okay. Yep, they had it. Yep. Good call by us. That does give them the ability to deal with one of my hollow ones. Okay, they did find a colored source here to be able to swords. So the game got a little bit more complex here. And they would have been able to kill my Hex Drinker there. Now, it would have cost them a lot of their resources. Maybe that in itself was worth it. But I really feel like the Hex Drinker is just so close to taking over the game. My opponent's at 12 life. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we find here. There is some merit to going and finding a wasteland, but Gaia's Cradle would be a fantastic draw here too. We did powder away Gaia's Cradle. Huh, okay. Maybe I'm going to gamble here and do this now. Oh, they have Leyline. Yeah, okay. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Finding Cradle would be really nice. We are going to lose probably both our hollow ones here. We'll see. Oh, we found the Cradle. Okay. I mean, that's what we were looking for, right? I mean, I'm at 18 life. It's going to be hard for my opponent to kill this. I mean, I can't think of a card that could do it outside of something like a Solitude, but they have one card in hand. This league has been a very nice showcasing of Hex Drinker. Here we come. That Chaos Cradle just put that into Progenitus mode just like that. My opponent is dead next turn. Yeah, said block, blow up the other one. Fair. Yep. So they're only going to take the 6 here. And this turn, next turn, they might be able to get this to be able to trade with the other hollow one, but of course it's irrelevant because the Progenitist will hit them for 6. So sorry guys, my opponent may be double queued or something. They're playing a little bit slow. All right, your go. Yeah, Yorion never came into play here. Nor have I really seen any cards that have value with Yorion up to this point, but maybe it's just literally a Sky Noodle, just a 4/5 flyer, which is pretty reasonable. I've always liked Yorion. You got a Magus. Mm-hmm. They have all mountains now. So bizarre. Anyways, very good game from us. I'm really happy with the showing of Hex Drinker in this particular match. It won us both games and once again shows why it is in the deck. And yeah, we're going to play for a trophy match, guys. We'll see you then. All right, guys, here we are in round 5 of our Vintage League. We're playing Cradlevine today, and we're playing for a trophy. Playing our always pleasant opponent, Crazy Diamonds. And we did win the die roll, which is nice. I'm sad to powder away that chalice, but that's okay. What does this hand do for us? Not a lot, right? Like we've got a couple strip mine effects. This we definitely can cast a turn 1 collector roof. Maybe this is okay. Let's try it out. We can cycle the hollow one if we miss on the once upon a time if it gets countered. Like we cast turn 1 collector roof, we cycle the hollow one, see what we find. We can bide some time with the strip effects. So we might be all right. It's my opponent's mulligan to 5 here. Hopefully we find a Bazaar. That'd be fantastic. We have failed every time we've attempted to do this. Yeah, I mean, we would take a second collector roof here, I think. This is suboptimal for sure, but I mean, we could get this Force of Will too, and that would be really rough on us. My opponent may have seen us getting the collector roof there and be like, we're not doing that. Yep. All right. So they got us. We're going to play the Wasteland here, pass turn. So my opponent has to be feeling good about their life choices there because we played a Wasteland and passed, which is definitely solid. Ponder, yeah. We couldn't expose the Cradle last turn. I guess, yeah, it didn't really matter whether I wanted to play the Strip Mine or the Wasteland there. I realized they were likely to fetch a basic, but we're going to get that at some point, and we're going to just try and toy with their mana. Like, they're very low on resources here. Shuffles, okay. I wonder if they're really low on resources here. Huh, hollow one, that's terrible. Because they're so low on resources, I think I'm going to be aggressive here. Take that away. Like when they shuffle so low, it makes me think that there's a chance they could have no land. Okay, Saga. I mean, that's a bit scary. We're gonna. I'm because of Collector Roof. I think that there's low likelihood that they have the ability to both counter this one and number two, be able to get a token next turn. I think I can take a turn off to cast the Collector Roof here because that means unless they have an Ancient Tomb, an Ancient Tomb would burn me, but I think that's okay. It would only be a 1/1. And what we're looking for is a land off the top. Okay, they did find one. Besage, that's fantastic. So first things first, let's get rid of that. And we're going to attack in. I think I'll cast a second Collector Roof here next turn. I will attempt to Once Upon a Time. Sensei's top. Wow, these sagas are problematic here. If they can produce start producing tokens now, it's bad for me. Okay. I'm going to cycle here to see if I can find a different green card. And I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to kill that saga in their upkeep. It's a little bit risky. Once again, they should be. It's unlikely that they have a force of will, but certainly possible. They've drawn a couple cards to this point, so we'll get rid of that. Okay. I am going to cast them Once Upon a Time now. I would like to find a land now if I can. It's possible this gets Flusterstormed. Nope. Question is, what do I want here? I think it's reasonable to just get a Wasteland here. Like if they play another Saga, I can. Well, it won't matter if I play it on the stack or not because of the presence of Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. Definitely one of the downsides. Okay, Bazaar Baghdad is decent. I do not have a vine in the yard. Well, this should get piece of removal going here now. No? Okay. Well, we're going to do it. We're going to Bazaar. This will fetch the... I mean... They might force... They're going to have to force a will this. This is a reality. Yeah. Okay, so we've seen Sensei's top, Saga. Like, we're playing against likely Esper is my guess. And I'm kind of reasonably well constructed to fight against these decks. I do think we want the 4th Boseiju. I might hedge with the Mindbreak traps. I'm not really crazy about them, to be honest, but I don't know if they're on Yogg Wills or not. Yeah, I mean, this feels correct. Let's take this in and see. Yep, good hand. We've got some interaction on the draw here. We've got some good discard equity and a turn 2 Collector Roof, potentially. Well, not potentially. We will, as long as we don't get wastelanded. And what we're looking to see is Graveyard Hate come in. That would be nice. Wouldn't want to see a Pithing Needle come down turn 1, but that's besides the point. This deck is not dead to a turn 1 Pithing Needle, unlike other decks. All right, Black Lotus is a good one. Let's see if they play into my trap here. Okay, looks like we're going to be live here, guys. There is a dead card. Their Mox Opal is on. Brainstorm. How do I feel about Brainstorm here? A Hull Breacher is a thing here. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so I did get burned. They did get the Ancestral here to reset themselves, but I think that's reasonable. Saga is what I don't want to see. Yep, okay. Soaring, yeah. All right. They're down to 2 cards. If we can find a Force of Vigor, would be good. Wasteland. Just have to hope they don't have much going on, guys. Like a PO would suck for me here if they had that, but I mean, I don't have the turn 1 Collector Roof no matter what I do, and they are quite low on resources here, so there's a chance they don't have anything going. A PO would feel bad, but it is what it is. Yep, this is a okay, Snapcaster, just Ancestral. Yeah, that's really good. We're losing this one pretty bad. My opponent's drawing 6 more cards than us here. That's unfortunate. And they're going to have a bunch of mana left over after this, so let's see. I mean, my Collector Roof is going to look good here if I can ever get there. Top, yeah. Let's pray for a Mox off the top. That would be really nice. All right. Well, I feel like we're in a lot of trouble here. My opponent has a lot going on. in comparison with us. But we're going to see what we can find. Black Lotus would also be nice. We found really nothing at all. That's extremely disappointing. I feel a little bit foolish, but it is what it is. Let's see. Next turn we can attempt to get a Collector Roof into play, and Collector Roof is very powerful. But I feel like this one has slipped away now. The Snapcaster broke my back. Like, if they PO here, I probably will concede. Okay. Force of Vigor is also something that can really help us here. Doesn't appear like we are going to get PO'd here, which is great. Are they going to do it now? Play around Vigor? Yeah. Smart. The only issue that they have with this is that if they don't find a Force of Will, my Collector Roof could cause them problems. Yep. 11 cards. All right. I'll probably concede if they force this. Yeah, they have it. Okay. I think that's fine. All right, so yeah, maybe that's just fine. Okay. Tough match. Tough match. PO in particular is out of the combo matchups the one I fear the most. You know, if it's Esper Tinker or something like that, like I'm far better against those decks than I am against a combo deck that outright you know, can draw just a ton of cards. You know, like I have really strong game against Sphinx of the Steel Wind and Bolus of Citadel and but anyways, we do have some tools to really mess with these guys. Like Collector Roof is really good against PO if you can get it out there and keep it around. Okay, the hand needs some help, but we have a turn 2 Beseiju up, which is solid. Let's see what we can find here. Oh, I like the Mindbreak Trap. Don't think I need a second Bazaar here, guys. You know, a little bit of a awkward hand. I would have liked a bit more interaction here. Like Collector Roof would have been very good to find there as well. But hopefully my opponent just has an average hand. They don't have the broken side of their deck. Okay. Time Walk. Yep. Yeah, like that card's terrible. I'm not even going to react to that. Don't really want to get rid of any of these things, but I guess I can get rid of one. I don't need the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth quite as much. Jesus. I think Mindbreak Trap has lost a lot of its efficacy here. I think my way to win is to keep my opponent off as much mana as I can, and hope that they have an average hand, and pray they don't have Tabernacle. So we're asking a lot here. Like, our hand is not shaped up properly, unfortunately. I shouldn't say it hasn't shaped up properly. This is what we've signed up for. I would have hoped for a little bit better of some cards off of my Bazaar. Specifically, I'm looking for a Collector Roof in this situation, but we've already got a solid board presence. It is a 4-turn clock. Yep, we have an answer to that one. So this is what I was hoping for, right? Is that they're kind of a little bit on the slower side here. Just try and keep them off balance as long as we can here. Next turn we can maybe use our Bazaar. But this is some of the stuff I'm talking about. Like, it's just awkward to use your Bazaar sometimes because the cards are so good in your hand. Next turn, I will have an additional card that I can potentially discard the Vengevine to. So this feels like it could be a Swords coming up, which is going to cramp our style somewhat. Let's get her going. They have the Crypt here. I do see that. Yep, we're still sticking on Boseiju here. Swords. Yep. Probably should have played around days there, but damage is done. Yep, Force of Will. Okay. Well, I'm going to play the Cradle out. We're in trouble here. If they didn't have the swords, I felt like we were in good shape there, but these decks do run removal. And this is the wrong type of root wallow. We can't pump it up. Yep, Snappy Ancestral. Yikes. Yep, opponent's going to get us on this one here. We just fell a little bit short. And we're going to go. Six cards in hand for my opponent. This might find us a hollow one. They did not want to interact with that. It did not find us a hollow one, but it found us a Collector Roof, which I quite like. I cannot use it this turn. We cannot attack. Yep. Pretty brutal. That would kind of be the card they want there for sure. Yep, they got the PO. Okay. And an ineffectual card for the most part. Redundant to the Tormod's Crypt, but they still can PO all these cards, which is a scary thing. We just really have to hope they don't have it. Hmm. There's no point in doing this because the cage shut off all their is now shut off. Unfortunately, if they didn't have the cage, the vine could have come back. So there's no point other than trying to get a root walla. I think that's worth attacking because I don't want them to get the Snapcaster back. They'll probably trade with my Blazing Root Walla, but maybe not. Oh, they're just chumping. Okay, they want to keep their life total. Root Walla? Yes. And the correct one, too. That's huge. Can break out of the cage, eh? All right. I mean, my opponent is going to have a very large construct here, but I have lethal damage through that. So let's see what they can do here. I mean, a PO could be pretty good for them here. Okay, that's good news for me. I mean, it's still scary, but it's taking them off of this for now anyways. I mean, the thing that would kill me here would be a Swords to Plowshares, almost assuredly. That would be the worst case scenario for me. But it still gives me the option in my upkeep to Bazaar, and if I hit another Root Walla, it will turn on my Gaia's Cradle to be able to deal lethal damage, because they will not have the ability to use their Urza Saga if they Swords to Plowshares me. So it is something. All right, my opponent's thinking here. Ooh, Academy, jeez. All right, that's a good one. All right. They're just going to PO for a bunch here. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's pretty solid. Academy was definitely their best play there, if they have the PO as well. So the Brainstorm may have been good for them there, better than I thought. This feels like a PO. Yikes. Is that a Sphinx? They had to get rid of their cage. Okay. Smartly got rid of that. Cage is a problem, or Sphinx is a time vault. Okay, so they do it. They must have the swords here. right? Is that what they're doing? They must have a swords. I think I bizarre my upkeep. It hit. Okay. That's big game because now what this allows me to do is to get through, right? It's still not lethal, I guess, but this is, they're definitely telegraphing a swords to me here. Can I just go and get a wasteland? Can I once upon a time here? No. They brainstormed. What are the chances they found the swords? They're sitting on this. I guess they can swords their own guy. Just going in. Yeah, so that's the swords for sure. That's not what I want. Maybe I do the no, because the guy's gonna be gone. I guess we get a Vengevine there. Just pray. They don't have a swords. That's what this feels like though. Yes! They didn't have it. What a feint by the opponent there. My God, I was thinking they had us there. But another nice victory for us guys. Always good to pick up a trophy for sure. And yeah, the deck performed extremely well tonight. That's what we're looking to do with it. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's always fun. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we're going to see you next time.